Hey, everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. A really, really sad story in the sporting world and also college basketball, just everywhere. Um, Juju Watkins of USC, 5 minutes into their second round matchup against Mississippi State, goes down with a knee injury. It has just been announced, just breaking news that Juju Watkins torn ACL. She's done for the year. This stinks to holy hell. This is so bad on so many different levels. I'm not going to take the angle. I'm not going to attack Mississippi State for what happened. That's just a freak accident. Injuries happen all the time, but it cannot be understated how big of a deal this is, not just for USC, but for women's college basketball, also just for college basketball as a whole, because when you lose a player the caliber of Juju Watkins, I said she's basically what Caitlin Clark was, but I don't understand it why she hasn't gotten the media coverage that she did. But this is just a massive story because it completely alters the picture of USC. And if they can win a national championship, it could alter their timeline for the next year because ACLs take a long time to repair, especially for basketball players. This is a transcendent face in Los Angeles, in a big time market and one of the future faces of women's basketball. And going to obviously still with another year in college at least. And we'll see how this shakes up everything. But this changes the picture of the present and the future for USC, for women's college basketball, and for men's college basketball. So that being said, USC still wins by almost 40 over Mississippi State because Kiki Area-Finn, who people forget is one of the better players in America as well. She goes for 36 points. Like, she just goes crazy in this game. Remember, she went for 40 at Stanford last year. This is one of the better players in America. It's now her team. It's now her team. Talia von Oelhoffen, who also was a great player at Oregon State. They got some good transfers on this team. It's going to be on them. Lindsey Gottlieb's a great coach, and we'll see if USC can, push through and potentially, get to a Final Four. It would be an upset because they were already in a tough road as it was with UConn and Paige Beckers in their bracket as well. So that could be setting up, especially now without Juju Watkins. It feels like it's going to be really hard for USC to ultimately, get past it. But I could see them doing this. Um, Getting past South Carolina, getting past UCLA. I don't think that this team is going to win a national championship without Juju Watkins. It would be an amazing story if it were. They have talent on this roster, but especially losing a player like that under these type of circumstances this late in the season, when she is like maybe the great equalizer of any team across both men's and women's college basketball. This just, it sucks. It really sucks because this woman has just unified, you know, USC and a lot of just college basketball fans across both sides. Like, you're already seeing the outpouring of support. Flau'jae Johnson, with LSU, sending her love. You obviously have people from across multiple sports. You'll probably be seeing it across the next handful of hours. This just sucks because, like I said, I've covered this program. I've covered Lindsey Gottlieb. I've covered USC just as an athletic program and an institution, and what this women's basketball program has become under Lindsey Gottlieb, and then when Juju got recruited there. Now being her second year, it's just like she's made this an attraction. It made USC women's basketball an event, and they're a number one seed in the NCAA tournament for the second consecutive year. They're in the Sweet 16 again, and 5 minutes into this game, you already could feel like the air was sucked out of Galen Center. It's unfortunate. You're praying and hoping that Juju can come back. I mean, Paige Beckers experienced some hardships in her career, having to deal with an ACL injury and ultimately being able to come back and persevering through that adversity. So maybe that's going to be something we'll see. Juju's going to have next year, and we'll see when she's able to come back. It's late March. Usually ACLs take anywhere from like 9 to 12 months. So she could be back at some point to start next season. and who's to say how it's going to look for USC. Um, but like I said, I'm just devastated for that program. I'm devastated for college basketball. I'm devastated for the women's game. Lindsey Gottlieb, all Juju's teammates. Um, this is big. A lot of this is even just bigger than basketball because of what she meant to the game as really kind of taking the baton from Caitlin Clark this year and kind of like, continuing the momentum of what this sport has really become in the last like, decade or so. And it's just like, you hate to see a star like that in any sport go down with a significant injury like that. And you could just see the outpouring of emotion and support that went across social media. I mean, fans in the building. I heard it got hostile there. A lot of people were mad at Mississippi State for what happened. It was a freak accident. Um, but yeah, it can't be understated how big of a deal this is because, like I said, it has short term effects, obviously, in this tournament, and it also has long term ramifications for USC moving forward. How much longer Juju's going to be there? If she's going to go to the WNBA? If she's going to have another year? There's a lot that goes into this, just like in terms of like who she is for this team and also for the sport. So praying for Juju. She's a great young woman, a great role model. My sister just loves everything that she represents and the way she carries herself as a teammate, as a leader. So I know she's going to be there to support her teammates and hope that they can, pull a miraculous run and rally behind her. Because, like I said, this team is capable of winning against Kansas State. Kansas State's a good team, but I mean, they beat Mississippi State. It was a really solid team out of the SEC. Granted, they were 9th seed. They beat them by almost 40 points because Kiki Arifin is one of the best players and is going to be a top 2 or 3 pick in the WNBA draft coming up later this year. So it's not like they don't have talent, but the great equalizer was Juju Watkins, and she's not there anymore. And you guys have heard me talk on this channel. Like I thought she's the new Caitlin Clark, and I thought in a lot of ways maybe she could have the potential to be bigger than Caitlin Clark, and I don't know why that hasn't happened, but this just sucks. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.